How to have fun anytime, anywhere. Step 1. Go to ChumbaCasino.com.
ChumbaCasino.com. Got it.
Step 2. Collect your welcome bonus.
Come to Papa welcome bonus.
Step 3. Play hundreds of casino-style games for free.
That's a lot of games. All for free?
Step 4. Unleash your excitement.
Woohoo!
Chumba Casino has been delivering thrills for over a decade. So claim your free welcome bonus now and live the Chumba life. Visit ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
What they discovered upon their arrival was almost unspeakable.
We are all evil in some form or another. I'm not guilty.
The dead won't bother you. It's the living you gotta worry about.
If I couldn't keep them there with me whole, at least I felt that I could keep their skeletons.
Hello and welcome to the Bad Taste Crime Podcast. I'm Rachel.
I'm Vicky.
Oh my God. Welcome back. Or if you're new, welcome in.
If this is your first time listening, a special hello to you.
Yeah,
we
come
are
in.
back again.
Yeah.
I have an exciting episode for you.
Very exciting. Get excited.
Get excited.
Pump it up. Pump it up. Pump it up. Pump it up. For
We're
murder.
in the full throes of summer, it feels like.
Throwing it back for summer.
I'm excited.
Me too.
This will probably be, I probably will have just had a birthday by the time this comes out.
Gemini season.
Yeah, because it's in like 2 weeks. So yeah, definitely.
So exciting.
So that's fun.
Yes. Do you have any plans?
No.
Birthday plans?
No.
But she's going to end up going to like 82 events because she's a Gemini.
I know, it's so true. Yeah, we'll see. I don't actually know what I'll be doing.
She's allergic to
no
rust.
idea. I'll be happy if I get macaroni casserole and mint chocolate cake from my mom.
What the hell is macaroni casserole?
Dude, it's a classic Midwest casserole, but it's something that my mom makes that I just is like my favorite meal. It's macaroni with ground beef and tomato sauce, and normally there's like corn and like mushrooms and some onions, and you put it into a baking dish with breadcrumbs on top. Cover it with breadcrumbs and you bake it, and
can't beat.
So good.
Midwestern casserole.
Dude, the cake is where it's at. I always ask for, it's a mint chocolate cake, but it's a white cake. And you use creme de menthe in the batter. And then it's a layer of like fudge topping.
Ooh.
And then you put a little creme de menthe in the Cool Whip, and it's a layer of Cool Whip. So it's not like a hard minty thing, but it's really
that
good.
makes me hard.
That's my favorite. My God, it's my favorite cake. I love it.
It is so funny that
so
my favorite cake is one my mom used to make. Not as fancy, but it's like the yellow cake. I really like the yellow cake, and then she puts it's like 2 circle cakes, and in the middle she puts like preserves, like lingonberry preserves, and then like the dark chocolate ganache. Oh my God.
That sounds good.
Fruit and chocolate. It's like my favorite.
Yeah, that does sound really good.
That sounds good.
So I've got that to look forward to, hopefully.
Yum.
Yeah. Anyway, I guess we should probably head over to the newsroom.
I guess.
Fit to breathe, our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad.
So this week, our news comes from Harvard.
Wait,
Harvard? No, the school.
Oh.
The school. Sorry. Harvard Medical School, specifically.
Oh, medical.
Yeah. 57-year-old Cedric Lodge, who was formerly the Harvard Medical School morgue manager.
Ooh, what a spooky job.
Pleaded guilty to interstate transport of stolen remains. And he's looking at 10 years in prison currently.
What?
So I've been seeing increasing reports of this, and it's being talked about widely, more widely now.
Ew.
But there are rings active in the United States of people dealing with theft of body parts and
oh my God.
Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah. So this particular one, they were thefts from the morgue.
He's just slanging people.
Yeah, they were from 2018 through at least March 2020. Both Cedric Lodge and his wife were part of a nationwide network who buy and sell human remains stolen from Harvard and a mortuary in Arkansas.
Ew. Dare I ask for what? Why are people buying these? Is it like medical stuff?
That's a lot of what it is like medical. They want it for
like testing and stuff.
Maybe some of it's that. Some is dissections.
Oh, yeah.
Some things are, yeah.
Ew.
And the thing is, like, especially with a facility like Harvard, because it is a medical school,
right.
There are bodies that are donated to the school for education and training and research and things. But once they're done with them, typically they are cremated and then the ashes are returned to the family who donated them. So he's like,
no, I'll take care of it for sure. Just leave the body with me. And I will for sure cremate it.
Yes.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, basically.
I'm not selling it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ew.
Let's see. It says Denise Lodge, who is the wife, and several other defendants have pleaded guilty to various charges stemming from the scheme. Prosecutors have said she negotiated online sales of several items, including 24 hands, 2 feet, 9 spines, portions of skulls, 5 dissected human faces, and 2 dissected heads.
Ew. Denise, that's gross.
Yeah. Yeah. So
what the fuck?
Yeah, but this is like I said, this is something that increasingly I'm seeing being reported is these sort of like body part rings that are being run through mortuaries or crematories or funeral homes or like.
That's like the craziest thing. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Because this is not the first story of this I've heard. It's just surprising coming out of Harvard Medical School because that is a very prestigious.
Oh my God. Cedric, you're gross.
Yeah.
You and Denise are sick.
Yeah. Don't worry. He's guilty.
I agree.
We're just waiting for sentencing. So.
Oh my God.
That's that. We're going to move on to Netflix and Kill, which this week we are talking about Into the Fire, The Lost Daughter.
Oh, uh-huh.
Which, have you watched this yet or no?
No, but okay. I know what it is.
So it was really, really interesting. It's a 2-part series that came out in 2024. It's by Ryan White, who also directed The Keepers, if you remember The Keepers.
One of my favorites of all time.
Fantastic.
Crazy good.
Yes. And it is about this woman named Kathy Turkanian who was sort of... she was sort of forced to give up her daughter for adoption when she was young.
Hey-o.
And later finds out that her biological daughter that she had to give up has been missing. Went missing in 1989.
That's crazy.
And so she sort of starts investigating to see if she can find out what happened to her biological daughter under the care of these adoptive parents.
Wow.
She works with Carl Koppelman, who is sort of this web sleuths guy.
Okay. To
look into the Bowmans, who are Andrea's adoptive family.
Right.
And Dennis Bowman, the father's been accused of sexual abuse. There are, things in the past that are kind of like questionable. And then in 2019, Dennis Bowman is actually arrested in connection with a different cold case.
Okay.
And during that arrest, he does admit to killing Andrea not long after she had disappeared officially.
My God.
And burying the remains in their of the backyard of the house that they were in at the time.
Oh no.
So it's a very, it follows her. She's sort of investigating this case. And
oh, how sad.
It is incredibly sad. But at the same time, it's great that they were able to come to a conclusion as to what actually happened to her.
Anything like behind the creators of The Keepers. The Keepers was phenomenal.
Yes. Yeah.
That's one of my all-time. It's so good.
It is.
So comprehensive.
Yeah. So this is, and because it's only 2 parts, right? Yeah. This is, I definitely suggest it. It's very interesting. Especially because it's sort of also about this connection that you have with your children, like your biological children.
Yeah.
And she, I believe, she didn't necessarily want to give up her daughter, but because of her circumstance was sort of in a position where she had to.
Yeah.
So, and frankly, what can happen to people who are given up for adoption? Because obviously the home she was placed in, although might have appeared fine,
they could end up co-hosting a true crime podcast.
They could, right? Yeah, exactly. So if you want to check that out, it is called Into the Fire, The Lost Daughter. I definitely would suggest it. Mm-hmm. This is that part of the show where we say content may not be appropriate for all listeners. Actually, mine is like not too crazy.
Mine too. There's definitely like, death and human remains.
Right,
There's some bone talk.
Yeah, mine's not actually too crazy as far as violence is concerned. It's
mine
just
too.
Sad.
Yeah.
So what are we talking about today, Rachel?
So I thought this week I would kind of cast a wide net and do one that normally I don't really like these cases because I'm annoying and I need to know the answer.
Right. You like a bit of resolve.
I do. Otherwise, I obsess over it forever and ever and ever. But this I just put as missing people.
Okay.
Where are these people? We don't know.
Don't know.
Well, mine end up being found, but not, in an exciting way.
Okay.
In a sad way.
Oh, great. Cool. Love that.
But it's more like, what happened?
Yes.
Ooh, what happened to these people?
Yeah.
So this one, I wonder if you've heard of this. These are the deaths of Chris Crummers and Lisanne Froon.
No, I am not familiar.
Okay. I almost wonder as we go through it if you're going to be like, actually, because this is one where like when you go online and it's like pictures of grisly crime scenes, 20 most, whatever.
Yeah.
Some of these pictures are always in these.
Okay.
Because there's like a collection of photographs that are really eerie and weird.
Yeah. Okay.
So
maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe
so I'm wondering if you're going to
be
be familiar.
Okay.
So Chris Crummers and Lisanne Froon were two Dutch students.
Okay.
They were really good friends. They ended up living together at some point. They were roommates. You would have loved Lisanne because she was a volleyball player.
Ooh.
She was a passionate volleyball player.
Yeah. That's my sport.
Yes. Chris had just gotten her degree in like art education. She wanted to be an art teacher. And Lisanne had a degree in applied psychology.
Okay.
So they both had these like really cool degrees. They were both committed to helping people. They wanted to help children. And after they graduated from college, they were like, you know what? Let's take like a little bit of a vacation, a little bit of kind of an educational vacation.
Okay.
Let's go to
nerds.
Well, exactly.
Super nerds.
I know. And they seemed like such sweet girls.
Oh,
Like,
I'm sure.
In these kinds of cases, what's unfortunate is even if you're a victim, the media is going to find like every skeleton in your closet.
Yeah.
Which like if you really do bad things, understandable. But sometimes it's like, okay, so they had a lot of boyfriends, who cares?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
God,
like it's like really we're going to victim blame. But these girls really were like super, super nice and sweet.
Yeah.
Super nice and sweet. So they were like, let's go to Panama. This will help us to learn Spanish because, again, they were Dutch.
Okay.
And they wanted to, quote, do something significant for the locals.
Okay.
So they wanted to like create programs and help volunteer. It was kind of a very rural area of Panama.
Okay.
So they were like, if we can do anything to help, we would love to.
Sure.
Which is so nice. So they, sweet little babies, they saved up for 6 months together in their little apartment.
Yeah.
Probably eating ramen noodles the whole time.
Yeah.
So they arrived in Panama March 15th of 2014.
Okay.
And at first, the trip was going super great. They're touring the country. And then there's like a kind of an informal program set up there where students or travelers can volunteer to like stay with a family. It's almost kind of like host family, but not quite that formal.
Yeah.
But since they were volunteering like through like an organization, they were able to kind of set that up. So they toured the country for 2 weeks, having fun before arriving in, I apologize so bad, Boquete, Chiriqui. Yeah, hell yeah. Boquete, Chiriqui in Panama, which again, super rural.
Okay.
So they went with the family. They were going to do volunteering with children. They hadn't quite started yet.
I would assume that these families have been like vetted.
Oh, yeah, completely.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like a nice family with kids.
Okay, cool.
And I think it always is.
Yeah.
You know, imagine like, hello, I am a single man here to receive these two lovely Dutch students.
Who knows?
But they seem like a sweet family.
Okay.
So they're having fun. They were like out on the beach, out having dinner, just having like a fun girls trip. On April 1st, around 11 a.m., they decided to take a hike.
Okay.
They weren't super experienced hikers, but this was like right by a village. You know, they had hiking trails and stuff. So they were like, oh,
I do think I know this case now.
There's
I do
no way
think
you
I
don't
know this case. Okay.
I thought this was kind of cute. The family, their like host family, had a little dog, and they were like, we'll take the dog with us. We'll take your dog for a walk, and we'll be back in a little bit. So we're just going to go for a hike. So this was, they called them the Clouded Forests, which I think is like so spooky.
Yeah.
On the El Pianista Trail, which was not far, just like a normal trail that people take.
Okay.
They also wrote on Facebook that they were like, yep, we're going to go take a hike. We're going to go have fun. And the day before, I believe, they had lunch with they found other students who were Dutch, who were 2 guys. So they went on like a cute little double date lunch thing. And they had been talking about like, we can't wait to go for this hike. It's going to be so much fun.
Yeah.
So fun. The host family, like, so they all day, they weren't really expecting them. They were like, oh, they're having fun. They're probably out with those boys or whatever.
Sure.
But then all of a sudden their dog came home by itself.
Okay.
Without the girls. Lisanne's parents, so she would text them like constantly about what they were doing.
Yeah.
They were like, we haven't heard from her in quite a while. Like hours and hours. Like, this is pretty weird. The next morning they were supposed to they were going to go on another hike, but with a guide.
Okay.
And they didn't show up.
Okay.
By April 6th, like just 6 days later, the parents arrived in Panama and were like, fuck no. We're doing a full investigation. So full police cooperation, dogs, detectives. They brought like detectives from the Netherlands with them.
Oh.
They were like, oh, fuck no.
Well,
No.
makes sense. Makes sense.
Yep. And they immediately offered a $30,000 reward for any information.
Yeah.
So right away, police are getting to work. There is sort of this undercurrent in the story, which is a little tricky because it's also like, are they being racist? You know what I mean? Where they were like, these Panama police are not doing a good job and they don't care and they're not looking for these girls.
Yeah.
Which I don't know. There's a lot on both sides of that. Where I'm like, I don't really know.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's
I
real.
do think that the infrastructure for that kind of investigation in Panama is not as well maintained as it is in the Netherlands.
That's true. The Netherlands is very like advanced.
And that is partially just because of the money coming in and out of the country and the resources available to them. I do think
Very
that
much
is
so.
accurate.
So it must have seemed to them like maybe almost like primitive. But it's like, it doesn't mean they're not doing anything.
Right. And I'm sure like the Panamanian authorities were probably a little protective, right? Like people are coming to our home turf.
Right.
And
It's like, hey, let us do our investigation. We know these would. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So they started searching. They started talking to locals. And there would really be no update until 10 weeks later on the 14th of June.
Okay. That's my birthday.
I was going to say, I'm like, I think that's your birthday.
That's my birthday.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, well, this is a sad part.
Oh, great. Cool. Love that.
A local woman who had been like in the area turned in. She's like, I found something and I think it looks kind of weird. And it was Lisanne Froon's blue backpack.
Oh.
She found it by like a riverbank, which I looked at the maps. She was from a village called Alto Romero, which is not super far from there. But she was like, I don't know what this backpack is. And it ended up being Lisanne's backpack.
Gotcha.
Which had in it a little bit of cash, which was around $80. Funnily enough, all of the I watched a ton of documentaries and stuff about this and like read a bunch of articles. It all said that it was $80, but one would be like $83, $85, $88. I'm like, girl, how much money was it?
It's around 80.
Like, it doesn't
Close
really matter,
enough.
but it was just funny. Like, a lot of things were really consistent, but with this, I was like, how much money? Tell me.
Yeah.
So had a little cash, had Froon's like insurance card.
Okay.
Her camera, 2 bras, both of their phones, like a water bottle and 2 pairs of sunglasses.
Okay.
So it's like, why are both of their phones in this backpack? Super weird.
Yeah. I mean, okay, keep going.
Well, I know. It's like kind of like, okay.
Yeah.
The phone, so like immediately they took the phones in and started like doing Netherland forensics on them, got all their records. And it showed that around 6 hours into their hike, one of them on their phones had dialed like the emergency number for Panama, which is 112.
Okay.
And then they were also dialing 911.
Yeah.
There were like 30 something calls that were like emergency calls, all in a short period of time.
Okay.
Like between like 4:30 and 5 p.m. They were just calling. But because they were in the middle of the rainforest, none of the calls connected.
Sure.
They were not able to make any successful calls at all. None of the calls went through.
Right. That's
Yeah.
Ooh,
I know,
okay.
so scary.
so scary.
So that was the day they went missing was April 1st. By the 4th of April, according to phone records, Froon's phone battery died. Her phone finally died after 4 days. The phone was never used again because obviously they weren't able to charge it. The other girl's phone wouldn't make any more calls, but it would show that they turned it on every so often to like look for reception.
Yeah.
But they were unsuccessful. And what's kind of weird is between the 5th and 11th of April, that phone, Chris's phone, was turned on multiple times. But there's like a weird thing in the phone records where they were like, we can't quite tell if, because like it would turn on, but then she had a passcode.
Sure.
So they were like, either someone was entering the wrong passcode or they weren't entering a passcode and it would just turn off. Or like, we really don't know. So there's a lot of suspicion. You'll see at the end of this, there are kind of two ways that people think. And people who think they were kidnapped or like someone was trying to hack into their phone. But I'm like, maybe she was using it for light.
She could have been using it for light. If they are just turning it on to check to see if there's signal, you don't have to go past the lock screen.
Yeah, and she probably wanted to preserve her battery.
Exactly, because opening your lock screen takes up more battery power than just looking at your home. You know what I mean? Like,
that totally
just leaving
makes
it unlocked.
sense. Yes.
Yeah, because you can just look and see the bar to see how much you have.
She's probably like, no bars.
Yeah.
No bars, goddammit.
And honestly, I'm thinking part of the reason they may have left the phones in the backpack, in my head, I'm thinking, okay, if they're dead, like if they're both dead, why carry unnecessary items?
That's totally true.
You know?
Very true.
Because at that point, I'm sure they're like, we're lost in the jungle forever. We're never going to find a spot to charge these. It's not like
might
they
as well just leave them.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that totally makes sense.
Yeah.
That's like one side of what people think.
I know.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
And finally, on the 11th of April, the phone was turned off for the last time. Okay. It was turned on that morning briefly, but again, not past the lock screen. And then it was never turned on again.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Yeah.
Then they found, because it also in the backpack was the camera, Lisette's camera. So they were like, oh, let's see if they took any pictures. And pictures they did.
Yes.
So luckily, they were able to piece together from the pictures, like where exactly the girls had hiked.
Okay.
And it turns out that they probably took a trail that was by the Continental Divide.
Okay.
Because it has really great views. They had a couple pictures of the views. There's like a really sad picture on the trail of like the two of them, like besties.
Yeah. Like, before anything went horribly wrong.
Exactly. Like they looked like they were having so much fun.
Yeah.
So sad.
Yeah.
And then, but that trail, I guess it's like possible to wander off. Like it's a little confusing up there. So they think that they probably wandered into the wilderness because the rest of the pictures are in thick jungle.
Yeah.
They're not on the trail anymore.
Yeah.
On the 8th of April, so they're looking through this camera, 90 flash photos were taken in like a short period of time between like 1 and 4 p.m.
Okay.
Because it was AM, I guess, because it was in complete darkness. So they were obviously using it to see where they were going.
Sure.
The flash. And a couple of the pictures are like, this is the thing. You'll be very proud of me because this is another one of those cases where people are like, what if it was something supernatural or weird?
No.
There's a couple of the photos where like stuff looks a little weird, but I'm like, it is the jungle.
Yeah.
I
understand the feeling of them being very eerie.
Yeah.
Right. Knowing what happens afterwards. That this is literally like the last images these people are seeing.
Yeah.
And it is documented because that is not usual. Right. I understand the eerie feeling from that. Like I definitely get that from these pictures.
Yep.
I don't think it was anything like supernaturally.
I don't either.
Or
I think there's no evidence of that.
no,
Like
not
even
at all.
like before when I was getting everything ready for this, I was like trying to get a website that had a bunch of the pictures. And I went on Google Images and it was like, look at this thing in the corner. Certainly a beastie of some sort. I'm like, oh my God, it's a leaf. Like,
yeah.
Or it's an animal because they're in the rainforest.
Yeah, or a bug, like a mosquito orb. Right? Like,
oh my God.
The orbs, I'm sure people are, but I'm like, it's literally dusty and rainy and mosquitoes and bugs and like.
That's one thing you'd be very proud of me for.
I'm so proud of you.
Orbs ghost evidence at all.
I'm so proud of you.
Dust
yes.
or something.
Yes.
It's
I'm
always
so
dumb.
proud of you.
Yes. Oh my God. Can you say that and pretend you're my dad?
I'm very proud of you, Rachel.
Oh my God. I just ascend.
Daddy's proud of you.
Yum. Now I'm turned on. So some of the photos, while not supernatural, are mysterious because it's like, were they using these photos like for light, or were they trying to document something? Not something supernatural, but like people are like, was somebody chasing them? Because there's a big theory that they were murdered, that like somebody came upon them and killed them.
Yeah.
I don't think it's impossible. I think it's a lot more likely that they just got lost.
Yeah.
Because it's the rainforest.
Yeah.
I think they just got lost.
Yeah.
But there is a picture that's of the back of Chris Kremer's head, like obviously taken by the other girl. And it's hard to see because it is the flash, makes everything so overexposed, and she's a redhead as well.
Yeah.
But if you look at the picture, you can kind of see where it looks like there might be blood on the back of her head.
Okay.
So it's possible that like maybe she fell down and they're trying to be like, okay, let's see how bad it is.
Right.
Let's take a picture so we can see, which makes sense.
Yes.
One of the major theories of the case, and one that I believe, is that one of them probably fell down and got hurt. And then that's why it went tits up so fast, because they weren't able to find their way back to the trail.
Right.
Right. They weren't able to figure it out.
Yeah. No, I get you.
So once they found the backpack and all of the pictures, they were like, well, let's go to that area and try to figure it out. Let's try to see what we can find. So that's near the Colubre River. So they were like, okay, let's figure that out. Right away, they found Chris's shorts on top of a rock.
Okay.
Which was pretty nearby to where the backpack had been discovered.
Okay.
2 months later, unfortunately, they were to find something a little worse. Because somebody was like, oh, I found a boot, but the boot still had the foot inside. It was all skeletonized.
Yeah.
But then obviously they were like, oh shit. They brought in everyone. They also found a pelvis. So they were like, okay, yep, these are human bones. So once they came in, they found at least 33 widely scattered bones. They were able to DNA test, and they were confirmed to belong to both Kremers and Froon.
Oh, man.
Something that, again, a lot of people kind of like cling to for like a supernatural theory or the murder theory, which again, I don't think the murder theory is ridiculous. I just think it's less likely.
Yes.
Is that Froon's bones, because they were found in kind of the same area.
Yeah.
All of her bones, a lot of them still had like tissue and skin stuck to them. Sorry, gross. But Kremer's bones looked bleached. Like they were like dry.
Yeah.
Which can happen if you leave them out in the sun.
That's what I'm thinking.
So I just kind of assumed they were left somewhere else. Like with in an area with so much animal activity, I feel like you can't really say what happens. You can't be like, well, that means that she was somewhere else and all of this stuff. Stupid. In total, only around 5% of Kremer's bones and 10% of Froon's were found, but they were cohesively linked to DNA.
Right.
Or comprehensively, not cohesively. You know what I mean?
Yep.
They were looking at the bones to see, because something that's like really unfortunate in this case is that a lot of racism against the people of Panama was like really rampant, because they were like, well, obviously they killed these girls, but there's no evidence at all. And for what? I think it would have been really dumb to kill them because you're in a really rural area and these two girls with obviously wealthy parents are coming and they're attached to an organization. So it's like they're going to notice they're missing and they're going to go after you in this small town. They're going to figure out it's you. So I don't really think, and there's this whole thing of like, there was this awful thing about like, well, there's native tribes around there that practice cannibalism, which is unconfirmed. So it's like, obviously they were eaten by these terrible people from Panama. And it's like, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
No, for me, this one has always, I mean, it's very tragic, but like, I think it's far more likely that they succumb to the wilderness.
Me too.
You're talking about these pictures being taken and potentially somebody like following them and trying to see them. I think it's far more likely that they could have been being followed by an animal. Right. Which if you're taking pictures at 2:00 in the morning, those are animals adapted to hunting at night, right?
Absolutely.
Like,
they're in an unfamiliar environment. They're from the Netherlands. They were both from like pretty like urban areas. So I'm sure they saw these big old trees and were like, shit. Yeah. So unfamiliar and in pitch dark and they're scared. Yeah. They don't speak the language. So even if they come across people, they can't ask for help. They're probably incredibly stressed. I definitely think that one of them hurt themselves.
I think so too.
Because I think once you add injury, it's like, oh God, what do we do? So even if they were normally level-headed girls, they might have just wandered further and further into the forest.
Right.
In panic.
Yeah. And honestly, even the way that like their items were found and their remains were found, like it does definitely just seem like they probably died somewhere out in the woods and then were ravaged by animals.
That's
unfortunately.
What I think too, especially because so little of their bones were found. Yeah. You'd think if it were a murderer, they'd find either their whole body or like none of it.
Right.
They wouldn't just like throw, it doesn't really make sense.
And it wouldn't necessarily be like fragmented either.
Completely. I agree with you.
Yeah.
A forensic anthropologist, because they were looking at the bones to see if there were any kind of like scratches or marks, like from a knife or something, said that the bones were completely whole. Like they were not, there's no damage detected because of there wasn't a huge amount found. Yeah. A lot of people say this is inconclusive, but I think it's still something to say that like there's no, because a lot of the bones that they found were like spinal bones. If you're getting stabbed, that's going to show like nicks in the bone and stuff usually.
It might, I mean, depending on the angle and stuff.
That's true.
Because if you're being stabbed from the front, it's not, depending on the knife that's being used, it's not necessarily going to go through to the spine.
That's true. I understand both sides of like,
it's definitely more likely, but
and then not comprehensive. But the fact that they didn't find any at all, I'm like, it was animals, I feel.
Yeah, I think so too.
They have an open, obviously the girls are deceased. Yeah. But they have an open investigation for if anybody knows something or if anybody has seen something. And I will link it in the show notes. It's really sad because they really were, they seemed like such charitable girls. Sure. Super nice. They were nice to all the locals. Yeah. I just think it's such a tragedy. It's sad. Yeah. I wish they would have waited until the next day and gone with the guide. Yeah, right. Would have been like, this is the path. Do not go off the path. But it can happen to anyone, I feel.
Oh, absolutely.
So that one's always kind of like haunted me. Yeah. Sad.
Hey, it's Ryan Seacrest. Life comes at you fast, which is why it's important to find some time to relax. A little you time. Enter Chumba Casino. With no download required, you can jump on anytime, anywhere for the chance to redeem some serious prizes. So treat yourself with Chumba Casino and play over 100 online casino-style games, all for free. Go to ChumbaCasino.com to collect your free welcome bonus. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
So I decided this week to look at the case of the Springfield 3.
Oh.
Which is one that I'm not super familiar with.
Yeah.
But it's kind of weird.
It's very weird.
Kind of weird. So this case revolves around 3 women, 19-year-old Susie Streeter, 18-year-old Stacy McCall, and 47-year-old Cheryl Elizabeth from Springfield, Missouri. Mm-hmm. Cheryl was working as a cosmetologist at the local salon, and she was actually Susie's mom. She was a single mother.
Oh, okay.
The two were reportedly pretty close. It was just the two of them in the house.
Sweet.
Yeah. It was 1992, and Susie. baby. I was 2 years old then. Grandma. So, yeah. So it was 92, and Susie and Stacy had just graduated from Kickapoo High School on June 6th. So it was a time of celebration. Mm-hmm. You know, anybody who makes it that far is like, when you graduate high school, it's like, oh my gosh. Because it also is this opening of a new chapter, right? It's sort of your first steps into adulthood.
I'm an adult now.
Right. I mean, that's what you think.
Yeah, I know.
And then you're like me, you're 35 and you're like, I'm still not an adult. So that's cool.
You're an adult.
Yeah. Kind of. Yeah. So they graduated high school. Mm-hmm. They were looking forward to moving out and going to college.
New beginnings.
Exactly. And of course they were celebrating with their friends. So there was like the day of graduation, tons of parties and stuff going on and lots of plans for the following day.
Yes.
So on the evening of June 6th, they had kind of like party hopped a little bit, and they were at a party that they were planning on staying at this friend's house, but the amount of people staying there, it had gotten way too crowded. So they were like, instead, we're just gonna go back to Susie's house. We'll stay there with her and her mom.
Yeah.
And then the next morning, we'll meet up with you guys. They had plans to go to a water park with their friend Janelle Kirby. So they're like, okay, yeah, we'll meet up. And then tomorrow morning, we'll like meet up and go to the water park.
Right.
So around 2 a.m., they go back to Susie's house that she shared with Cheryl. And like I said, as they said their goodbyes, they told Janelle that they would meet up with her at her house in the morning. Mm-hmm. However, they didn't show up the next morning. And I will say Janelle assumed that they had accidentally slept in, which I don't think
Hungover.
It's right. I know. You're literally coming off of a day of partying.
Yeah.
Like,
it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah. It would not be out of the realm for them to sleep in.
Right.
So she was like, well, we'll just go get them. And so Janelle and her boyfriend went over to Susie and Cheryl's house to pick up Susie and Stacy.
Oh, no.
When they got there, first of all, they noticed it wasn't open, but they noticed that the front door was unlocked.
Okay.
When they got there. And all of the cars were still outside. But it didn't, from the outside, appear like anybody was home.
Right.
The only thing, and Janelle and her boyfriend told us to police later, the only thing that was kind of off was that the porch light was smashed. And it sounds to me that it was like the housing was smashed, but the actual light bulb wasn't broken.
Okay.
And so just
that's weird.
In the interest of safety, they swept it up.
Oh, that was nice.
I mean,
evidence, but
they didn't know that at the time,
of course.
right? So yeah, they had swept it up, and then they did let themselves into the house because again, all the cars are here. It looks like people are home. When they went in, they noticed that the family dog was still there, and that it seemed very agitated.
Oh.
Like, it sounded like it was a little dog, so it was just kind of like this agitated dog.
Oh no.
While they were there, the phone rings and Janelle answers it, and on the other end is a male making like sexual innuendos and noises.
Ew.
So she hangs up and this person calls back again, which was like kind of weird. So they were like, well, maybe something's a little off, but they decided to leave.
Yeah.
A few hours later, Stacy's mother, Janice, went to Cheryl's home because she also hadn't heard from her daughter at that point. And when she arrived, she noticed that all of their belongings and bags and stuff were still in the living room. But again, like it didn't appear that anybody was home. So one of the other things, Cheryl's purse was on the floor. It had a cash deposit of $800 from working at the salon that she hadn't taken yet. She also noticed that there were recently used makeup wipes along with keys and jewelry, indicating that they had actually come home and like changed, taken off their makeup.
Right.
You know, like got ready for bed, whatever.
Oh, that's a good observation by her.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Yes, detective.
The other thing that I found interesting, and again, it's like if you know your friends well enough, these are the things you would notice.
Right.
There were cigarettes in the house next to an unfinished can of Coke.
Okay.
Which was kind of unusual because Cheryl had been described as a chain smoker, so like she wouldn't go anywhere without taking her cigarettes.
Yeah.
Especially like leaving the house.
Of course. Yeah, that
she
makes
wouldn't leave
sense.
him behind. So she was like,
So it was like, obviously she didn't leave.
yeah. So she was like, there's something going on here.
And
so
her purse still being there and everything too.
with the money in it.
Right.
Like nothing.
I'm taking my $800 with me.
Didn't seem like anything was taken from the house.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was very strange. So she decided to call police.
Mm-hmm.
So she was there sort of waiting for them to arrive. She's kind of looking around to see what she can see. She noticed that there were messages on the answering machine. So she decided to listen to them to see if there were any clues.
I love this girl.
Yeah. Yeah, kind of.
She's like, I'm gonna solve the mystery.
So this is from Medium. She said, quote, there was a strange message that immediately alarmed her, but for some reason it was erased.
Okay.
Later on, police would say they thought the message might be included to the disappearances, but later said they didn't believe the prank calls Kirby had answered were related. End quote.
That's weird.
Janelle would also say later that although the calls were disturbing, she remembers Susie telling her that that pretty much since she moved in with her mom in that house, they had been getting prank phone calls from somebody since she had been there.
Okay.
So it sounds like maybe it was like
That's a little less
another
weird.
student or
Yeah, probably a neighbor boy.
right, just being weird.
Yeah.
So it did not seem that they were as concerned about these prank calls.
I'm concerned about it.
Yeah.
But I hear you.
The other thing I want to point out, because I remember seeing this pointed out, is that in the 90s, with answering machines, a lot of times to save tape, once you listened to
it erases
message, it automatically erases it on some machines. So like by doing that and erasing the message, which she might not have known, that might not have been super common at that point, but it existed. Like,
oh, man.
Yeah, so that's the thing. It would take a full day for police to arrive at the house.
What?
To start their investigation after multiple concerned friends, family members had gone over to look for them.
And like, they were at those high school parties getting drunk.
Yeah, maybe.
Probably.
But by that time, again, like people had come over and checked on them, like multiple people.
Right.
Police have estimated between 10 to 20 people had entered the house, including, like I said, various friends and family who were worried, completely corrupting the scene. So if there was any evidence, it's fucked now.
Yeah,
like
that sucks.
Yeah. But it's their own fault because they had such a delayed response time.
Right. It should have been taped off already.
Yeah. Even if you couldn't get like investigating officers there right away, like, they did not do well.
Shocker.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah. When they did finally arrive and begin their investigation, they found no forced entry and no sign of struggle other than the busted porch light. They also noticed a bent window blind in the window above Cheryl's bed. I'm going to be honest with you, though. I don't really find that unusual.
Those blinds suck.
No. And you know what I'm talking about. It's like the metal ones.
Yep.
I have them in my apartment. Like when I moved in, some of them were bent already.
Right.
You know, that to me, and it takes like zero effort at all.
Like nothing. Yeah, completely. I agree.
So that to me is not as
enough.
unusual to be like, oh, they came in through this window.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
I agree.
Police estimated the trio had disappeared between the hours of 2 a.m. to 8 a.m. Cheryl had scheduled appointments and like work clients and stuff in the days following their disappearance, indicating it wasn't likely that she just left.
Ran away.
Yeah.
Right.
Both Stacy and Susie also were scheduled to work later in the week. But again, but they did not show up for these shifts.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Wow.
Yeah. There was an immediate search effort by Janice, Stacy's mom, who began canvassing the neighborhood and putting up missing persons flyers. The FBI also got involved in the search effort a few days after the disappearances, largely in part due to the strangeness, like the circumstances of it, and the fact that it was multiple people that were missing. So they came in to help and they aided in searches of surrounding wooded areas. At this point, honestly, because this is like a few days afterwards, they're looking for bodies. Yeah. They're looking for corpses at this point. But they did not find anything.
Sheesh.
Their initial investigation focused on Bart Streeter, who was the estranged brother and son of Susie and Cheryl.
Okay.
It was, Cheryl's son. I've only seen him really described as having problems.
Oh, dear.
Which could mean a number of things.
Right.
Could mean drug and alcohol. Could mean
mental.
Gambling addiction.
Right.
Maybe he is violent. Like,
Right.
it could mean a lot of things.
True.
But they kind of had severed their relationship with him.
Okay.
Because of that.
Okay.
Whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
And police did look into him. That was kind of their first gut feeling.
Mm-hmm.
But he was cleared as a suspect after they confirmed his alibi and he passed a polygraph.
Okay.
Although
he sounds suspicious.
Right. Although they had some initial thoughts about like possible transients in the area, and some of Susie's boyfriends like not being the greatest people. Nothing really pans out in the beginning. Right. It wasn't until
crazy.
Yeah. It wasn't until the story of the Springfield 3 was featured on a July 1992 episode of America's Most Wanted. This was about a month after the disappearances.
Okay.
There were 29 calls within the first week after airing.
Oh, wow.
5 months later, after the episode aired in December 1992, a man called their hotline to give a tip about their disappearances, saying he had intimate knowledge of what happened, but was accidentally disconnected when the switchboard operator was attempting to connect him to the Springfield authorities.
No.
They did try this like public appeal. Like, if you were this person that called in, please call us back. Like, we're waiting for you to call us back. But they never heard from this mystery person.
Oh my God. Oh, that stresses me out.
And it could have been nothing.
Right.
But it could have been something.
Yeah.
You never know. There's also a claim from, this one's kind of wild. There's a claim from a local reporter in 2007 that they may have been buried under the parking garage of Cox Hospital.
Oh.
The reporter even got a specialist with ground penetrating radar and found 3 abnormalities in the ground, and they described them as like 2 parallel and 1 horizontal.
Okay.
Like 2 parallel vertical and 1 horizontal that they found under this parking structure. However, that's not enough.
Right.
That is not enough.
That
there's
could be
not
anything.
Yeah, there's not really, at least it sounds like from the police's point of view, evidence that anybody who worked on that site or whatever like would have put something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Certainly not enough solid proof to deal with the cost associated with
I was gonna say,
upending
I'm sure
a parking
that's
structure.
expensive.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because they had been there for a number of years, and then
Yeah.
you literally have to take down like the whole parking structure to get underneath it.
Oh, shit.
So they did not investigate this any further.
Right.
Because it just didn't seem worth it to them.
It's worth it to me.
Yeah. Now, obviously, when you get a missing persons case like this that goes on for a long time, it's often riddled with theories of all shapes and sizes. This is no exception. We talked earlier about the possible transients and sort of the brother connection, both of which were very loosely connected and unsubstantiated.
Right.
As far as Susie's boyfriends go, there was one. His name was Dustin Rekla, who would have had motive.
Okay.
He seems to be the only one that might have had a motive. Apparently, he and a friend were facing charges relating to theft and vandalism, and Susie was going to testify against him in these charges.
Oh, okay.
But both of the men had alibis, and so they were cleared.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was fine. But again, like, it would have been motive had they not had an alibi.
Right.
The only theory that really seems like it would have any weight is that Cheryl, Susie, and Stacy were victims of a possible serial killer named Robert Cox.
Oh.
Have you heard of him?
Yes.
Okay. So Cox had been convicted of abducting and assaulting 2 women in California, and then he served time, was released. When he was released, he lived and worked in Springfield.
Okay.
During the time of the disappearances at the same car lot as Stacy's father.
All right.
Which is like the closest connection I've seen.
That's very close.
But in 1997, Cox was arrested and convicted for kidnapping and robbery in Texas, as well as being a suspect in a murder in Florida.
Wow.
The brother of the woman murdered in Florida was actually the one who tipped off police about Cox's possible involvement in this Springfield 3 case. Mm-hmm. He kind of put the pieces together and was like, you might want to look at this guy. So when he was questioned about this, he claimed his alibi was being at church with his girlfriend the morning after the disappearances.
Sure,
I was just at church.
I was repenting.
Yeah. Why? Exactly. But they asked, obviously they confirmed this with the girlfriend. She was like, yeah, we were at church.
Yeah, well.
However, the girlfriend later recanted this alibi, saying that he had pressured her into lying. Cox also claimed that he had been at his parents' house the evening of the disappearances, which is something they confirmed as well. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I'm like, they're talking about these disappearances happening between, like, what did I say, 2 a.m. and 8 a.m.?
Right.
Like early hours of the morning.
And that's a big gap.
Yeah.
And also, like, how did you confirm it? Did you know for sure that his car was there, or did you just talk to his parents who were like, yes, he was?
Well, how'd they confirm the alibi?
Right.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, because I'm thinking of the timeline too, which would make sense, because it literally was, they were last seen at this party at 2.
Right.
And the next morning, whoever came, Janelle, who came to get them, was there about 8. So, like,
I mean, to me,
window.
I think that's the most plausible.
Yeah. This is again from Medium. Quote, during a 1996 interview, Cox said to a reporter in prison that he believed the 3 women were deceased and buried in Springfield. He didn't, however, implicate himself in the crime.
He just knows that.
He just is like, I have a feeling.
That's not suspicious.
Police are also like, they're unsure if he actually may have been involved or if he just wants to claim credit for recognition.
True. That's true.
So in total, there has been around 5,000 tips regarding the disappearances of Susie Streeter, Stacey McCall, Cheryl Levitt. Mm-hmm. Sadly, this case still remains cold. As far as I know, it's still open. They were, at least Susie and Cheryl were pronounced dead in like 97.
Okay.
That's the only, I only saw mention of that. I'm not sure about Stacey.
Right.
But it's been an open cold case for close to 35 years.
Wow.
And they're still not sure what happened.
That one pisses me off.
Yeah. A reward fund of $43,000 has been established for the location and prosecution of the persons responsible for the abduction of the 3 women. If you have any information, you can contact the Springfield Police Department at 417-864-1751 or via email to Lieutenant Brian Welch at bwelch@springfieldmo.gov. You can also contact the FBI VICAP division by calling 800-634-4097 or via email at vicap@fbi.gov. All this information will be in our show notes. Mm-hmm. But yeah,
that one
the Springfield 3.
Me off.
I know.
I think they got serial killered.
Serial killered?
Yeah. It's a verb.
It's a verb now. I know. It seems, again, it's like, seems the most likely.
Yeah.
He was there. I don't know that he was convicted. I would have to look if he was convicted in the one in Florida, but like, it's clear that he was traveling and he was in the area at that time and he had other violent offenses.
Even if it wasn't him, like the whole thing of like the light being broken and like, even though it might, the blind might have been whatever, it kind of seems like there was a break-in because it doesn't seem like they went anywhere because all of their shit was still there.
Yeah, but you'd almost think too it's possible that it's somebody they knew because there wasn't any, besides the thing being broken,
too.
There wasn't any sign of a struggle.
Right.
It didn't appear like somebody forced their way into the house.
Mm-hmm.
Their stuff was there. Like one of the things that Janice said, the mom said, was that she saw like her daughter's clothes from the night before still folded on like one of like the couch or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's not like there was some big fight or something. So that to me is like, hey, they might have known this person.
True.
Which if it's somebody that worked with her dad, that's not that far outside the realm of possibility.
Could be.
You know, so it's hard to say because there's not even a theory to like where they would have been taken or like which direction they went.
It could be anything.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of a bummer of an episode today.
Dang.
Well, before
Before you go missing.
Before you go missing. I know that's what I was going to say, that I thought maybe not. But before you go missing, maybe check out this podcast.
Need an escape? Vanish into the depths of a magic forest. Head out on an interstellar repair mission. Travel back in time to change the future. Explore inside someone or something else. Meet dragons, werewolves, birds, bears, aliens, mermen, and a man with a fishbowl for a head. All in 10 minutes or less every week. Tune in to 600 Second Saga for your weekly science fiction and fantasy escape.
Riley Herbst from 2311 Racing here, and you know what grinds my gears? Waiting for coffee. But instead of counting frappes and lattes, I fire up Chumba Casino. No apps, no fuss, just fun social casino games to pass the time. By the time my coffee's ready,
Order for Riley.
I've already taken a few victory laps. Next time you're stuck waiting, make it entertaining. Play for free at ChumbaCasino.com. Let's Chumba.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
All right, Rachel, that has been our episode for today. A nice little short bite-sized episode.
Chop.
I love that personally.
I love to bite.
By the time we get to this point in the day, I'm like so tired.
For sure.
We keep up the energy for you guys, but we expend it all on the podcast. So
yeah, you're welcome. I hope you enjoy it.
It puts me out for a week. Do you have any final thoughts before we wrap up?
This is a little unusual, but I have this coping mechanism that I found from online. You know, the little mean voice in your head, literally this morning, we always record at the same time, but I'm an anxious person. So I'm always I always think it's an hour before. Yeah. And I'm like, oh my God, they're so mad at me because I'm not there. Which really, you would just call me and be like, hey, stupid, did you forget what time it was? And then I would come over. Yeah. But you know what I mean? That panic, they're all mad at you and they hate you. A TikTok said, if you just imagine that voice as Trump, it completely loses its bite. Because I don't respect him. Yeah. They all hate you. They wish you were dead. They're going to kick you off the podcast. I'm like, what the fuck do you know?
Oh my God.
You poop your pants. Who cares what you say? All right. So if you want to adopt that, it's been very good for my mental health.
On that note, our sound and editing is by Tiff Fullman. Our music is by Jason Zakshevsky, the Enigma. This has been the Bad Taste Crime Podcast. We will see you in 2 weeks. Yeah. Goodbye. Bye.
Left their bodies on the hillsides along the highway. It was as if a wave of evil washed over this town.
We are all evil in some form or another.
It is Ryan here, and I have a question for you. What do you do when you win? Are you a fist pumper, a woohooer, a hand clapper, a high fiver? If you want to hone in on those winning moves, check out Chumba Casino. Choose from hundreds of social casino-style games for your chance to redeem serious cash prizes. There are new game releases weekly, plus free daily bonuses. So don't wait. Start having the most fun ever at ChumbaCasino.com.